So, Monika ist auch hier. Schön, wir können gleich anfangen. Rose fehlt und Oma auch. Okay, die werden beide kommen. Recording habe ich gestartet. Presentation. Now. Ja. Was so war der zweite Teil, was du dann mir geschickt hast, ein bisschen besser als der erste? Oder war das genauso schwer oder genauso problemhaft wie der zweite? Ja, war so? Wo ist der? Weg. Ach, nicht da. Okay, der wird gleich wiederkommen. So. Wir haben gestern über diese temporale Konnektoren.
No, stop.
Ja, ich möchte gerne wissen,
Yeah, that's right.
eine Frage gestellt.
Ja,
ich
ja.
habe eine Frage an dich. War der zweite Teil?
Ich habe gehört das. Ja, meine Antwort ist, ja, es war die zweite Prüfung in unserem Buch.
Ja, war das ein bisschen besser?
Von wegen.
Im Vergleich zu dem ersten, hast du das besser machen können?
Das war, ja, eine neue Worte ich habe gelernt. Von wegen.
Also ich meine, wenn wir die Prüfungen der Reihe nach machen, werden die Prüfungen ein bisschen einfacher zu lösen.
Ja. Aber es ist nicht da. Es ist meine Antwort. Von wegen, wenn ich habe eine andere Meinung, dann man benutzt von wegen. Ist das richtig?
Nicht in diesem Kontext, nein.
Okay. Ich glaube, wir können benutzen das in allen Situationen. Okay, then I'll correct it. Okay. Von wegen is again objecting and telling negative.
Nee, it doesn't work here.
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't work here.
Okay, meine direkt Antwort ist leider nicht. Es ist nicht besser als die ersten Versuch. Ich habe ein bisschen oder ein paar zusätzliche Zeit genommen und ich finde, der vierte Teil war ein bisschen schwierig und ich habe viele Zweifel mit meiner Antwort.
Okay, ist das wegen des Wortschatzes? Oder?
Ja, ein bisschen große Worte.
Ja.
Und,
oder wegen des Themas? Is it because of an uninteresting topic? Is it
no, it is not. It was interesting topic, but the thing is, last 10 days, I had a gap, and literally, I know the words, I have read the words, but I couldn't able to recollect the meaning.
Okay, it's for sure.
I missed the flow, yeah. But after some 1 or 2 weeks, I think I can get back it.
Okay, I think I know what you mean. So, can't complain. Good, wait, then I'll deal with that accordingly.
Super.
So now, wir beginnen oder wir machen jetzt die Übungen zu den Konnektoren. Und bevor wir damit anfangen, wollen wir uns mal auf die Grammatik schauen. Das ist nicht da. Oh, I'm coming to a topic where you will have a lot of questions. This topic I will deal with a little later today. So I must tell you, okay, this topic is going to cause a problem. Good, we'll worry about it then. So, das ist das Thema hier. Vergleichssätze mit als und wie. eine Wiederholung. Genauso gut wie, ebenso schnell wie, so lang wie, so groß wie. Wenn wir diese Kombination von so und wie zusammen in einem Satz nehmen oder sehen, das bedeutet, wir machen eine Komparation, wir machen einen Vergleich zwischen zwei Sachen, die gleich sind. Paul ist so groß wie Alex. Rita ist so hübsch wie Christina. Beide sind also gleich hübsch. So, in diesem Fall, das ist eine Wiederholung, nehmen wir das Adjektiv im positiven Grad. Das heißt, der erste Grad. Gut, schön, schlecht, lang, langsam und so weiter und so weiter. So the first degree of comparison. Also an adjective as it is. Wenn wir aber zwei verschiedenen Sachen miteinander vergleichen, komparieren, dann nehmen wir das Adjektiv im Komparativ und der Konnektor hier ist als. Paul ist größer als Alex. Christina ist intelligenter als Rita. Das ist Komparation, einen Vergleich heißt es, zwischen zwei ungleiche Personen oder zwei ungleiche Sachen. So komparativ, Adjektiv im Komparativ plus als. Adjektiv im Positiv, dann ist es so und wie. Sind wir alle im Klaren darüber?
Ja,
Alle?
Sir. Ja, Sir.
Okay. Dann gibt es eine dritte Möglichkeit, Wörter wie anders, anderer, anderes, andere. Das zeigt automatisch etwas, das nicht gleich ist. Automatisch. Denn diese Wörter hier sind Adverbien. Und sie zeigen, sie signalisieren etwas, das nicht gleich ist. Und da kommt das Wort als in dem Satz und nicht so wie. So anders wie geht es nicht. Anders als. Auch im Klaren sind wir hier.
So, ist das auch die positive degree? Nein.
Als, das ist nicht positiv. So wie ist positiv.
Ja, so wie und dritte ist?
Als, das kommt mit als.
So it is also comparative.
It is comparative, doing with two different things. There is no degree here. Anders is not an adjective.
Okay.
It's an adverb.
Okay, Sir.
Und dann kommen diese Vergleichssätze. Mit je, ja.
Ich brauche ein Beispiel.
Anders als man denkt. In Deutschland ist es nicht immer so, wie man es denkt. Es ist anders, als man denkt.
Und kannst du mir in Englisch helfen?
Other than. It's other than one things. Other than one things. Ja, okay. Mit je und desto, das ist ein Konnektor, ein Doppelkonnektor, die kommen immer zusammen, je und desto. Und je und desto bilden den Satz immer mit dem Komparativ. Don't forget. You have a comparative with je und desto. They are always used together as a pair. Je ist der Nebensatz und desto ist der Hauptsatz. Desto oder umso. Also, je schneller ich das Auto fahre, desto mehr Benzin verbrauche ich. The faster I drive a car, the more petrol I would utilize. Je mehr, desto mehr. Je größer das Auto ist, desto mehr Benzin verbraucht es. The bigger a car, the more the petrol consumption, the fuel consumption. So, je plus Komparativ, desto plus Komparativ. Natürlich, die Komparation hier ist auch, also das klingt gleich, aber eigentlich ist nicht so gleich. The more. It looks the same, that both are comparative. But this comparative is within the sentence of two different things. Je eindeutiger die Signale sind, the clearer the signals are, the better we understand them. So here we are talking about the signal clarity being more, which leads to a better understanding. So this besser is with verstehen and eindeutiger is with Signale. Don't think that signal and understanding is being compared here. It is, but rather indirectly. So a clearer signal in terms of communication makes for better understanding. A clearer signal in terms of language, zum Beispiel. How clearly are you communicating to the other person? Right? At the risk of being slightly cruel, I can give you an example of what understanding or lack of understanding I had when I received a message from a student of mine who's, of course, it's a lady, married, 2 kids. She was in India, right now she's in the US. So from the US, she sends me a message after a long gap. I felt very sad, sir, when she died. This is the starting of the message. Forget the rest of it. My understanding stopped here. That signal was totally unclear. What was the signal? The pronoun she. It is totally unclear. So my understanding was that I was at loss. So had that signal been clearer, my understanding could have been better and I could have reacted more appropriately. So that is the meaning here. Je eindeutiger die Signale. This is Kommunikationssignale. So the more, the bigger, the better. The smaller, the more economical. Und so weiter, und so weiter. They are always used together. Please remember, Je ist ein Nebensatz, also das Verb steht am Ende des Nebensatzes. Desto ist ein Hauptsatz, the verb will be in the second place. Je plus Adjektiv im Komparativ, desto plus Adjektiv im Komparativ. Dann kommt das Verb. Fragen?
Nein.
Keine. Alles klar.
Yes, sir.
Schön. So let's get back here. How would you fill these? Shoot, one after the other. Einer beginnt, der nächste macht den nächsten und so weiter und so weiter.
Darf ich, Sir?
Ja, bitte, Jeet.
Das Buch über Körpersprache ist genauso interessant.
Mhm. Also oder wie?
Als
Read the sentence. The full sentence, once again. Noch einmal.
okay. Das Buch über Körpersprache ist genauso interessant, als ich es erwartet hatte.
I want to point out two things to you.
Yeah.
Interessant. Is it? One moment. Jeet, two things here. Interessant. Is it positive or comparative?
Comparative.
Nein.
No, positive.
Positive.
Interessanter.
Sir,
Interessanter is comparative.
is comparative.
Aber interessant?
Positive.
Positive. Point number one. Point number two.
Genauso.
Genauso. So we.
Forget genau. Forget genau. What do we have here?
So.
So.
It should come here.
So we.
Wie, ja.
There you are. So what's bedeutet genauso?
As.
As.
Equal.
Exactly
Same.
as.
Similar.
Exactly as. Just as. Das Buch über Körpersprache ist genauso interessant, wie ich es erwartet hatte. Is just as interesting as I had expected. You
Got
can
it.
drop that just. It not necessary. Das Buch über Körpersprache ist as interesting as I'd expected. And genauso is to add some extra punch. Just as interesting.
Yes.
Good, next is that.
Yes, sir.
Das Seminar über Körpersprache war viel unterhaltsamer, als die Teilnehmer gedacht hatten.
Gut, weiter. Nächsten Satz. Nächsten Satz bitte.
Ja, Sir.
Körpersprache zu verstehen ist nicht immer so leicht, wie ich glaube hatte.
Geglaubt hatte.
Geglaubt hatte, ja.
So wie. Ja, next. That was, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Das Buch Körpersprache des Erfolgs ist bekannter, als ich vermutet hatte.
Okay. I suggest we do one thing instead of one after the other. There seems to be some confusion here. Beulah, can you pass it on to somebody? You name the person.
Yes, sir. Priyamada, sir.
Yeah.
Danke, Beulah. Als Trainer für erfolgreiches Auftreten ist Sami Molcho genauso gefragt wie als Professor am renommierten Max Reinhardt Seminar für Musik und darstellende Kunst.
Super. Die Antwort ist richtig. But I have a question. Also so wie. Das ist richtig. But what is this wie als?
Like as.
Like this, yeah.
What does this first sentence mean?
Sir, Kaswa?
9. What is the meaning of this sentence? Als Trainer für erfolgreiches Auftreten ist Sami Molcho genauso gefragt wie als Professor am renommierten Max-Reinhardt-Seminar für Musik und Darstellende Kunst.
Sir, as a trainer or like a trainer?
Okay? Genauso gefragt.
Exactly question.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just.
Just.
Question.
Yes.
So what is this genauso gefragt? Why should Sami Molcho be gefragt?
Just asked. Exactly asked.
But Jeet, you'll have to explain further. I think I feel you have understood, but you're not able to explain.
Yeah.
I have a vague feeling here. What is this genauso gefragt? Als Trainer ist Sami Molcho genauso gefragt wie als Professor am Seminar für Musik und so weiter. What is this genauso gefragt?
Kanish, sir?
Ja?
Ja, es gibt two verschiedene Situationen und man compariert hier die beiden Situationen. In einem Situation, in einem Training, Sami Malcho gefragt.
Ist gefragt, ja. Hm?
Ja, ist gefragt.
Hm?
Als in andere Training, Max Reinhardt gefragt.
Erklärung is not clear, but I think I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean, but the explanation was not quite structured. Can you rephrase that? Asu, can you rephrase that?
Ja, so es gibt zwei verschiedene Situationen.
Ja.
Eine Situation, die erste Situation ist eine Ausbildung oder als ein Programm mit Sami Malcho.
Ja. Und das zweite
gleichzeitiges eine andere Training oder Ausbildung mit Max Reinhardt für Musik und Kunst.
Nein. Sami Molcho ist sowohl Trainer als auch Professor. Das ist Sami Molcho in beiden Fällen. Was bedeutet hier gefragt? That is what I would like to know. What is the statement here? What does this statement mean? Als Trainer ist Sami Molcho gut gefragt, viel gefragt. Expand your meaning horizon. Don't stick to one meaning only. And look at this usage here. Ist gefragt.
Is asked.
Well done, Jeet. Is asked. Can you give me a preposition after this?
Pure.
Not.
Fragen pure.
Here in this case, pure. Actually, Fragen takes nach.
Yeah.
So what do you mean he is asked for? Man fragt nach Sami Molcho, if you take the correct preposition. Come on, people.
Erfolgreich, successful.
Ha, Priyamada. Yeah, tell me. Who said sir just now? Priyamada, wasn't it?
No, I said
No, sir.
successful. Erfolgreich.
If I give you a hint, I'll give you a hint. Think Hindi. Think Hindi. It works in Telugu also. I think it should work in Tamil also. Er ist viel gefragt. Remove the genauso. Das brauchen wir momentan nicht. Er ist viel gefragt.
Pure music and exhibition.
Yeah, and also for drama. Er ist viel gefragt.
So someone who is popular.
In demand.
Okay.
He is in demand. बहुत पूछ है उनकी. What does it mean, पूछ है? It's there in Hindi. The similar phrase is there in Telugu also. And I'm sure it's there in Tamil. He is asked for a lot. Or literally, if you want it in correct English, he is asked after. He is in demand. So Sami Molcho is as much in demand as a trainer for erfolgreiches Auftreten as he is for a professor at the redone Max Reinhardt Seminar für Musik and so on. So he's in demand as a trainer as well as a professor at this seminar. It's called a seminar and not a university. These music places where they offer diploma and training and all that is normally called a seminar. Is it clear or are you still in doubt?
Sir, nicht klar, sir. In demand, gefragt is in demand, sir.
In this case, yes.
In this case, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
In this case, yes.
Sir,
Yeah.
we und Hals together.
Beta?
In the fifth sentence, we have we als professor.
Yeah. So it's not we als. There's a we and then a pauser and then als.
So they are comparing here.
They're comparing the two jobs that he holds right now.
Okay.
He is in demand as much as a trainer as a professor. Whether you want him as a trainer or as a professor, it makes no difference. He's very much in demand. This is a Max Reinhardt Seminar für Musik und Darstellende Kunst. Befindet sich in Wien. It's in Vienna.
Okay.
It's a University of Music and Performing Arts in Vienna. Darstellende Kunst is a performing arts. That is drama, theater, opera, and so on. He's a professor there. So he's as much in demand as a professor as he is as a trainer. So in both of what he does, training for the people who want to do or appear on stage or do something on stage, as well as being a professor at this Max Reinhardt seminar. Seminar here at this university. In both his roles, he is just as popular. So wenn you say er ist gut gefragt, bedeutet, ja, man fragt nach ihm und ist eine berühmte Persönlichkeit, eine bekannte Persönlichkeit. This is very much a colloquial sentence which is used in English also. He is wanted as much as he is as a trainer and as a professor. So both of them are in equal demand. Some people want him as a speaker in his role as a professor. Some people want him to conduct a workshop as a trainer. Solving the sentence is okay, but when you do that, please also look carefully at the meaning sometimes after you finish. Give it a thought. Solving and getting the right answer is only part of the story. And here, that so und wie are connected. This als is als trainer und als Professor. Genauso gefragt wie als Professor. Not wie als Professor. Nein. Genauso gefragt wie Pause als Professor zusammen. Then it will make sense. Noch Fragen oder ist es jetzt klar?
Ja, ist klar.
Klar, sir.
Danke. Also, Prembada, you have to pass it on to somebody.
Yes, Monica.
Okay, Monica, Nummer 6. Wo ist denn Monika? Ist nicht da, oder?
Ja. Guten Morgen.
Ah, okay. Ja, Monika.
Morgen alle. Danke, Pramda. Sami Molko behauptet, dass für unsere Reaktionen und Entscheidungen die nonverbale Kommunikation viel wichtiger ist, als wir alle denken.
Sehr gut. Wichtiger als.
Ja, wichtiger,
Super.
comparative.
Was bedeutet nonverbale Kommunikation?
Non-verbal.
Meaning?
You can say
Sign language?
Is it always sign language?
no.
Non-verbal communication is where you don't speak.
Yeah.
That's all.
When you don't have words. Yeah.
When you do not use vocabulary or words. You use your gestures, facial expressions, or whatever. By raising your eyebrows or closing your eyes like this, or making a face of disgust or whatever. Yeah, that is non-verbale Kommunikation. Natürlich, that comes broadly under Körpersprache. Okay, so also any doubts, any questions here?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
in third sentence, sir, is this the same structure that we have studied? Can we write it like es ist nicht immer so leicht, Körpersprache zu verstehen?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, sir. But sir, why there is not a comma between verstehen and ist?
Why should there be a comma?
Because sir, it is a
This is the
with
unit.
two verbs.
This is the unit.
Was?
Körpersprache zu verstehen is one unit. So why should there be a comma?
Okay.
You can't have a comma here, right?
Yes, sir. Okay. I thought that there are two verbs. So one is Hauptsatz, not Hauptsatz, but it is a Zusatz, infinitive mit
Yeah,
zu.
but it's connected to the noun there, right? Körpersprache ist.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Körpersprache is a subject in the sentence.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is one unit, and then comes the verb, and that's why it's Stella.
Ja, sir, verstehe. Danke.
Okay. Now, before we
Ich habe
go
eine
to
Frage.
this, ja, Vasu.
Tut mir leid. Aber es ist nicht korrekt mit diesem Thema, aber es ist ein anderes Thema. Among, English word among. For example, this is one of the language among communication. Body language is one of the language. So that among, I see sometimes they use unter, sometimes they use in. So is there
Vasu,
any rule for that?
ein kleinen Moment bitte. Small, very briefly. Mr. Praveen. మెసేజ్ చూడలేదు పొద్దున్న నుంచి క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను 12 వరకు క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది నాకు దాని తర్వాత నేను అడిగారు కదా ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఫోటోలు పంపించమని అది గుర్తుంది నేను పంపిస్తాను ఇది రౌటర్స్ 3 ల్యాప్టాప్ అండ్ రూమ్ ఫోటోలు కూడా పంపించమంటారా రెండు లైట్లు చిన్న ఏమంటారు ఎల్ఈడి బల్బ్ ఒకటి అది ఎక్స్ట్రా ఎమర్జెన్సీ నాది ఫ్యాన్ ఒకటి నేను పెడతాను ఇమీడియట్గా పెడతాను మంచిది ఇదే వాట్సాప్లో పంపిస్తాను మీకు మంచిది రైట్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సారీ Entschuldigung. My service provider. So, ja, Vasu.
Ich habe gefragt über among auf Englisch. Manchmal benutzen wir unter, Unterdamen, among ladies or among. So sometimes we use in, zum Beispiel among Fakten. So where do we use in? Where do we use unter for among? Is there any rule?
Where do we use in English in the first place?
For example, no. I'm talking about in and unter in German, whereas we use among. For example, if I am saying in English, among ladies.
Yeah.
So if I want to translate in German, then I'll say unter Damen.
Yeah, unter den Damen, unter den Frauen. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And what is this in?
Sometimes, for example, okay, among the subjects or among the experts, I find comfortable with him.
Etc. Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, I read somewhere in experten.
No, it doesn't work.
Here,
in German, there are only
also
two
unter we need to use.
Yeah, no, there are only two possibilities in German. One is zwischen.
Between, okay.
How many?
Only two.
That's right. But if I say you all and here, is it zwischen or unter?
No, it's more than two. So it should be, then it's not zwischen. It is among you.
Among us.
Okay.
So if I say I'm going to tell you a secret, bitte das bleibt unter uns.
Between us, like
among us. I will tell you a secret. Suppose I give a statement, I will tell you a secret. Dative comes before accusative. Das bleibt unter uns. Unter uns. But if I'm sharing this with only one other person, then zwischen uns, between us. That in doesn't come into the picture at all. It's the same in English, between and among.
Okay, so when I want to use among, only there are two possibilities: unter or zwischen. Okay.
Oder zwischen.
Klar. Vielen
So,
Dank.
jetzt. Ja gut, weil wir da im Allgemeinen über dieses Problematik gesprochen haben, jetzt gibt es auch einige Lebensweisheiten. Also diese Lebensweisheiten, das Wort steht in Anführungsstrichen. So, was bedeuten diese sogenannten Lebensweisheiten? Eigentlich sind diese 4 Sätze Sprichwörter. They're all proverbs.
Like,
Wie du mir, so ich dir. Was bedeutet das? Wie du mir, so ich dir.
Tit for tat.
Ja, das ist tit for tat, genau. Do you know the equivalent in your language? Gibt es
जैसी
sowas?
करनी वैसी भरनी.
जैसे को तैसा.
जैसे को तैसा.
Jesse ko tessa. So, wie du mir, so ich dir. Tit for tat. Wie man sich bettet, so liegt man. Was bedeutet das? Das ist ein Sprichwort. Remember, Redewendungen, Sprichwörter, solche idiomatische Wendungen sind Teil der gesprochenen Sprache. Wir müssen mal ab und zu auch diese Sätze in unserer gesprochenen Sprache verwenden. Dabei erreichen wir ein höheres Niveau der Sprache. Also es klingt, als ob wir die Sprache gut beherrschen. Das sagen wir sehr oft bei uns in unserer Muttersprache. We use a lot of these colloquial phrases and proverbs when we speak in our languages.
Is it Nevo or Nefo?
You can use either. Niveau is non-German, it's a foreign word, so you use it as it is. If you Germanize it, it becomes Nifo. That's a September, Oktober, November oder September, Oktober, November. Beides sind möglich. So Niveau, das Niveau. You can use a Niveau or a Niveau. I use an intermediate between both, ver and fer. So it helps our language. You have to enrich or beautify your language, throwing in these odd phrases once in a while. I don't know how many of you have appeared for the IELTS examination. If you have or if you haven't.
I have done it, sir.
You have attempted. What was your band score?
My band score was 7.5, sir.
Not bad. You can boost it up to 8.5 if you
Yes.
use a lot more of these colloquial phrases when you speak.
Okay, sir.
That's one of the things that is tested, looked at by the examiner. This is insider information. Okay. I don't want to say anything more.
Okay, sir.
You understand?
Yes, I understood, sir.
Okay. So similarly, in German, if you show this command over, don't memorize them. Try to use them in our daily meetings here. Once in a while, when the moment the context comes in, throw it in. So if you learn these and use them especially at the exam level, it'll give you a high score. And then beyond the exam level, it'll make you a better speaker. And you'll gain more respect from a fellow or another German. Okay, let's go to number 3. We have come in here to Wie die Arbeit, so der Lohn.
No, actually, what is the exact meaning of the second sentence? I lost it.
Yeah.
Wie man sie bettet.
Das habe ich nicht gemacht. Das habe ich ja liegen lassen. Ich bin bei der dritten jetzt. Wie die Arbeit, so der Lohn. Was bedeutet das?
Sir, ich kenne auf Hindi.
Ja?
जैसा काम वैसा दाम.
Ja, das stimmt. Das ist gut, Kushi. Was bedeutet das denn auf Englisch oder auch auf Hindi? Welche Bedeutung kann man daraus ziehen? What meaning can you draw from that, conclude from that? Jaisa kam, vaisa dam. Wie die Arbeit, so der Lohn. Wie ist es auf Englisch zum Beispiel?
Ich weiß nicht, Sir.
Like work is the source the wages.
Yeah, well done. Can you explain a little more, Viola? Well, that's good. Good work deserves good pay.
Yes, sir.
So it's like also a good servant must have good wages. A good servant must have good wages. So depending on the work, your wages must be paid. If it's something very complicated, something very serious, something very hard, the wages should be in accordance with the kind of work that is being performed or being done. So wie die Arbeit, so der Lohn. Jaisa kam, वैसा दाम. Which is why if you look at it from the point of view of handicrafts, some things that are handmade are more expensive than a machine-made product. There's more effort involved in the handmade product. So the wages that you pay to the worker who has done that should be more than what is being achieved by a machine. It's a very old German proverb, and see the curiosity here. The similar phrase is there even in Hindi. Okay. Wie gewonnen, so zerronnen.
So was ist die Bedeutung von zerronnen?
Zerrinnen, something has just drained past, gone away. The Zeit zerrinnt. Time has just drained away. Chala gaya. Drained out, gone away. Gone to bits, gone to pieces. Gone into smaller units. Zerrinnen, zerrann, zerronnen. Gewinnen, gewann, gewonnen. So wie gewinnen, so zerronnen.
Keine Ahnung.
Okay. Anyone make a guess? This is a Sprichwort, also sometimes called eine Wendung, eine idiomatische Wendung. English, I would probably put it as easy come, easy go. Easy come, easy go. What you get or find or get hold of or comes into your possession easily will not remain with you for a long time. It will also go just as easy as you obtained it. Something that you obtain by hard work, you will retain it. Something that has come easily without an effort, you will get let go of it also, or it goes by itself very easily. So wie gewonnen, so zerronnen. Easy come, easy go. This is the English equivalent. I don't know what you would probably say in Hindi. There is a phrase for this. Das habe ich nicht mehr im Kopf. Jetzt Nummer 2. Das haben wir nicht gemacht. Also wie
जैसा आए वैसा जाए. That's
Ja, Monika?
in case of money, we normally say this phrase, na? जैसा आए वैसा जाए.
Nee, is it that phrase or no? There's a different wording. You're right, but there's a different wording.
Okay.
You're right. But that meaning is correct. Monica, that meaning is correct.
Danke.
Yeah, but there is a very nice rhyming phrase.
Sir, I have heard, but I didn't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Yeah. In Punjab, it's very famous.
Yes, it
Old
is.
ladies normally speak this.
Yeah. Okay, so jetzt hier. Wie man sich bettet, so liegt man. Was ist betten? Das Bett. Das Bett, betten. Was ist das? Was bedeutet das Wort?
Mattress?
Bed. Bed, sir.
Bed. Mattress is Matratze.
Sir, to bed,
Ha.
sleep.
Ha.
Yeah, that's it.
Make your bed.
Ha.
To
Make
lay,
your
yeah.
bed to lie.
Aha.
How to make bed
हाँ
as you lie ऐसे कुछ है
हाँ हाँ weiter. Weiter, das ist richtig, aber weiter. Ich brauche die Erklärung. Das ist ein Sprichwort. Die Aufgabe, wie übersetzt man sie? How do you translate these? How do you understand these as translations in your own language or any other language that you know? Wie man sich bettet, so liegt man. As you make your bed, you must lie on it. You made your bed, so now you sleep on it. You caused the problem, so you deal with it. That is the meaning here. Wie man sich bettet, so liegt man. You made your bed. Who was the one who asked you to irritate the dog? You did. So you deal with that problem. Main to chala. It's your problem, not mine now.
And so, what is the English equivalent?
As you made your bed, lie on it. It's a problem of your creation, so you lie on it. So you made a nice bed, then you have a nice sleep on it. If you make an awful bed, then you have an awful night on it. Right? As you made your bed or as you make your bed, so must you lie on it. It's normally applied to people or
Sir,
to...
it suits more with जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी.
Yes. That's it. So what you have done, you have to suffer those consequences. If something you have done is not good, you bear the consequences. Right? So these exist in other languages in different ways with changes. But you can see here, there are comparisons here. We, so, we, zo, inverted, not zo, we, zo. Yeah. But they are also Vergleichssätze. Just as you did to me, the same I do to you. Just as the work is, so must be the wages. Just as you won something, so must you let it go. If you won it easily, let it go easily. You won it with difficulty, don't let it go easily. Keep it on. Just as you have made your own bed, so you must lie on it. You made a nice, neat, comfortable bed for yourself, then you lie on it comfortably. You made yourself a very uncomfortable bed, it's your problem. So you must deal with that. You must now lie on that uncomfortable bed. So it is also a Vergleichssatz. And they are quite frequent in Proverbs. If you wish, I can send you a few Proverbs, aber später, so that you have some grips over this aspect of language as well. Die sind auch Vergleichssätze. Und jetzt noch weiter. Vergleichssätze mit je, desto oder je, umso. So let's start. Naturally, you must know the comparative forms of the adjectives. Gut, bewusst, aufgeregt, wichtig, wenig, viel, natürlich und erfolgreich. Ja, Nummer 1.
Ja. Also, je besser man die Gesetze der Körpersprache beherrscht, umso bewusster kann man sie in Gesprächen, zum Beispiel in Bewerbungsgesprächen, einsetzen.
Gut, also besser und bewusster. Aber haben wir dann den Satz verstanden? Das ist auch wichtig.
Was bedeutet
Yeah.
beherrscht?
The more we understand the rules of the body language, desto more can we understand the conversation.
Ja, beherrschen means to master.
To master.
So the more, the better you master the laws of body language, the rules of body language, the more consciously you can apply them in conversations, for example, in advertising conversations. Because an advertisement needs not just the vocabulary and the words, but also non-verbal language at times. We are talking about visual media. So Bewerbungsgespräch, an advertising conversation, it could be in the form of a picture or a video. The body language plays a very important part there. Okay? So beherrschen, to master something. Bewusst is consciously, knowingly. Right, Nummer 2.
Darf ich?
Ja, bitte, Premada.
Je auf Charakter man in solchen Gesprächen ist, desto wichtiger ist es, die Sprache seines Körpers zu beherrschen.
Gut. Aufgeregter und wichtiger. The more excited you are in such conversations, the more important it is to master the language of your body, to have control or command over the language of your body. That is what separates a good actor from an ordinary actor. If you watch some of the performances of the actors in advertisements, I'm not talking of famous names, it could also be non-famous people. It's just as good. Yeah, the body language is something very, very important in advertisements. I remember one ad about a kid I've never seen before, excepting in that ad. I think it was an ad for Vibo masala or Vibo something. I have to search for it on the internet. It's not there on television anymore. There's a child sleeping at a table. Very small kid, girl. And she put her hands on the table like this, akimbo here, and then she's sleeping. A very bored look on her face. Her father comes into the kitchen. He just follows the eye, with the eyes of father. He goes, does something on the gas stove, and then puts a plate in front of her. And from there, her body language is like this. Kya banaya? So the father looks at her, goes back to the pan, does something, and the kid suddenly gets up like this, and he puts this plate in front of her. She looks at the plate and says, "Kya banaya hai?" And the father smiles and shows his packet, Vibo Masala. The body language is awesome of this child. I don't know whether she knew that, but that excitement showed in that conversation. Kya banaya hai? It's because of that masala. There's an advertisement for masala. Nothing else was said in that ad. So if the child had reacted in the same way, kya banaya hai? And kya banaya hai? The same neutral body language, the effect would not have been there. Suddenly perks up, her eyes open wide, huge smile on her face. That is that Sprache des Körpers. Good, weiter, Nummer 3.
Darf ich, sir?
Ja, bitte, Monika.
Denn je weniger man eine Person kennt, desto mehr mehr achtet. Nein, desto mehr achtet man auf deren Bewegungen und Gesten.
Super. This was easy.
Ja.
Good, next one.
Je natürlicher die Körpersprache eines Gesprächspartners wird, desto erfolgreicher verläuft das Gespräch.
This is taken from a natural surrounding.
Ja.
Je natürlicher. The more natural the body language of a partner, the more successful is the conversation. If your partner is not interested in talking, from the body language you know, he or she is not interested and you stop talking. So all with je, desto und mit Körpersprache das Thema von gestern. Oder das gestrige Thema. Mit je, desto.
So in third sentence, what is then?
It's a continuation from here. While.
Us?
While, in the sense of while. It's used in the sense of while.
Okay.
As a follow-up to the previous sentence. Okay.
Sir, eine Frage.
Ja.
Sir, where we will use umso und desto? The difference?
Kein Unterschied hier, Prembada. Your choice, your mood,
Okay.
your feeling. You use desto, you're fed up. Use umso. It makes no difference. See, here they've shown you umso.
Yeah.
Then they've gone to desto. Okay, so let's alternate. Use this with umso.
Okay.
Kein Problem. So, jetzt. Combine these two. Mit je, desto. The first one is solved. Je schwieriger der Test ist, umso größer wird die Freude über den Erfolg sein. Das ist Nummer 1. Jetzt Nummer 2. How you have to work. Do not fill in the blanks.
Je mehr
Man liest.
Ja.
Je mehr man liest,
Umso deutlicher
ja,
der Wortstatus nimmt zu.
Umso ist ein Hauptsatz. So, umso deutlicher.
Nimmt der Wortstatus zu.
Super. Was ist zunehmen? Sehr gut, Premada. Gut gemacht. Was bedeutet zunehmen?
Increase weight something.
Increase. Also, was nimmt hier zu?
Workshops.
Wortschatz nimmt zu. Und
Clarity.
Wortschatz bedeutet? Wortschatz bedeutet?
Words. Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. So the more you read, the more clearly your vocabulary will increase. Right? So number 3. Number 3.
ये after
Yeah.
ये after man the water wither hold.
Yeah.
So gutter.
Hey,
umso besser.
Jeet.
Yeah, good besser.
Yeah.
So besser.
Huh.
Pra-
Verb. Verb is
Prank.
Dr. Verb.
Yeah,
Prank.
prank.
Correct.
man jig.
Man. Yeah. Prem bata.
Correct. Man, yeah.
Man. Zizish. Ein.
Ein.
Ein. Was ist einprägen?
Don't know.
The more often you repeat words, the better you imprint them.
Okay.
Imprint.
Imprint, yeah.
Imprint in the mind. Einprägen, you imprint, implant, engrave. They go into your mind deeply. That is einprägen. They stick to your mind. The easier you can memorize them, so to speak. So sich einprägen, to keep something in your mind, to imprint something in your mind, to have a engraving of that, to have memorized that. Sich einprägen. Okay? Man spricht deutlich, man wird gut verstanden.
So, je deutlicher man spricht,
Aha.
umso besser wird man verstanden.
Verstanden.
Good, well done. Well done. The last one. Where's Vasu? Vasu?
Yeah, da. Ich bin
Nummer
da.
5. Nummer 5.
Okay. Jemand sagt, jemand viel.
Das hier.
Je mehr man übt,
Ja,
umso.
ja.
Schneller.
Oh, Monica, don't help him.
Okay.
Die Inspiration wird schnell verschwinden. Umso schneller,
Super. Ja.
ja, umso schneller die Angst vor dem Sprechen verschwindet.
Weird.
After schneller, I need the verb.
Ja, wird
Ha. Okay.
die Angst vor dem Sprechen verschwinden.
So ist das. Well done. The sentence looks long, but it's quite simple actually. Umso oder desto schneller. Once you have desto schneller, die beide kommen zusammen, immer. Je plus Komparativ, desto plus Komparativ. Immer steht das Adjektiv in Verbindung mit je und desto. Mit je bilden wir einen Nebensatz, mit desto bilden wir einen Hauptsatz. So, je mehr man übt, Verb am Ende, Komma, desto schneller, und jetzt kommt das Verb, wird die Angst vor dem Sprechen verschwinden. The more you practice, the faster your fear of speaking will disappear. Und noch etwas Kleineres hier. So oft. Ach. Can you give me the comparative of oft?
After.
Öfter.
Yeah.
And can you give me a synonym for oft?
Oft. Häufig.
Super. Absolutely super.
Yeah, häufig.
Comparative bitte.
Häufiger.
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 Okay. Absolutely super, Vasu. Also öfter und häufiger. Oft und häufig. Can you give me the superlative?
Am
Häufigsten.
Hoxton. Am Hoxton.
Häufigsten.
Christian.
Can you give me the superlative of öfter? Somebody is hammering what I am teaching into their brains.
So often.
Often.
Yeah, what is the superlative? Oft, öfter?
I'm often.
Often.
You mean
Often.
Often. No.
No.
Often.
Mais.
Nine.
Sorry, okay.
Okay.
Superlative for both is the same.
Same.
Also öftesten gibt es nicht. Oft, öfter, am häufigsten, häufig, häufiger, am häufigsten. Don't use am öftesten, das sagt man nicht. Ja, das sagt man nicht. So don't use this. Be careful. Öfter ist okay. Das Komparativ, das ist okay, aber nicht im Superlativ. Watch out. There are some speed breakers and pitfalls. So whenever we build or do something, this kind of exercises, one should be aware of possible problems in language. Denn die Sprache geht glatt, ja. Meistens gibt es eine Regel. Meistens ist die Regel auch ganz fest. Und wir können einfach weitermachen. Aber es gibt auch eine Norm, wieder eine Regel oder ein Sprichwort. Jede Regel hat eine Ausnahme. So if you have a rule, there will be an exception to that rule. There has to be an exception. Because a rule without an exception is very unusual. So if there is a rule or there are rules which have no exceptions, and you can call them exceptional rules. But when you say rule, there's no some rider to that. But in case accepting. So with adjectives also, watch out for these unusual adjectives. Okay, so let's do one more. This. Ye desto. Yeah.
Yeah. ये बेसर फर्स्ट नहीं ये मेयर
Huh?
ये बेसर
ये बेसर मान Körpersprache versteht, desto weniger Missverständnis, desto weniger
gift.
es Verständnis. Missverständnis.
Okay. Try the second one.
Yes, schneller. Men Körpersignale nimmt wahrnimmt, desto
schneller.
Nein.
Reagieren ist Verb.
It's verb. Angemessen.
Ja, Viola?
Angemessener
Super.
kann man reagieren.
Gut. Was ist angemessen reagieren? Was bedeutet hier? Desto angemessener kann man reagieren. Context. Don't look for words outside the dictionary or in a dictionary or wherever. Look at the words. Je schneller man Körpersignale wahrnimmt, the faster you perceive body language, the more angemessener one can react.
More appropriately.
Yeah, in a more appropriate manner or appropriately, one can react.
So unmessen bedeutet appropriate.
In adjective, angemessen.
Okay.
Angemessen is an adjective.
I said, what is the meaning?
Appropriate, reasonable, correctly, adequately. So correspondingly. Yeah, in tune with.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so third one.
Ganesh.
Yeah.
Je leichter
Ja.
man Reaktionen des Kunden erkennt,
Aha.
desto optimaler kann man Verkaufsverhandlungen.
Wait. Where is the adjective in this sentence?
So optimaler.
Optimieren is verb. Kann optimieren is verb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Verkaufs.
Nein, das ist ein No. Nein, das ist ein Nomen.
Besser.
You can use besser, but you can also make an adjective.
Einfacher.
Desto besser is good, a good option. Or you come up with a totally new one. Desto optimierter kann man Verkaufsverhandlungen machen. Make an adjective here, add a machen with Verkaufshandlungen. Because Verkaufshandlungen cannot just have kan alone. There must be another verb at the end. Remember, kan is a modal verb.
Yeah, sir. That's why I use optimirror.
So if you say optimieren, then you need an adjective with desto or umso.
Mm.
It's not there, so you have to add it on your own.
Uh-huh.
So in order to add that, we have to understand both the sentences. Man erkennt Reaktionen des Kunden leicht.
Mm.
Yeah, so the reactions of customers are easy to recognize. So accordingly, you can also use angemessener here. Once again, accordingly, you can optimize your sales dealings, going by the reaction of the customers. Like you're selecting clothes and you see how quickly, I don't know whether we have ever observed it consciously, how quickly the salesperson adjusts his selling technique to your reactions. I had an experience about 10 days back. I purchased some shirts to take with me to present to my brother and sisters and the other people in the family. Visiting them after a long time, and being the eldest, I thought it was my duty. So I went to purchase shirts at this shop. So usual sales technique. This color doesn't look good and that doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. And he said, this one is good. Well, it was good. So I said, give me a larger size. He said, no, I don't have it in this color. You offered another color, which was more costly. But it was the size that mattered to me and not the cost, because I was giving it to my family. So I coolly turned him down. I said, not interested. I'll go elsewhere. He said, 1 minute, sir. He went inside and produced the same size, same color. This is also sales technique. Selling things. You know, we did a text earlier on that. Remember? Werbung. Yeah, okay. Are we done? Now, there will be nice continuation. Well, we can do that tomorrow. Das ist auch ein Sprichwort. Früh übt sich, aber das Sprichwort ist nicht zu Ende geschrieben worden. Do you know what it could mean further? Or this catchphrase? Früh übt sich.
Early bird gets prey.
Ja, kann man sagen, but here it has something to do with lernen.
Übt is practice.
Yeah. And the hint I'll give you is this phrase and this face and this word.
Early age learning. Something only.
Hajit.
Early learning. Early age.
Yeah. Early age learning.
So continue that in your own words.
Then I should quit.
No. There are different rules for everybody. You make your own rules. Like I have made my own rules for many things that I'm learning now. Some things I refuse to learn, but other things I made my own rules. Normally they talk about Fremdsprachen and Lernen. All that theory is Quatsch. I don't believe most of those theories. All those theories have been floated by white skins. They don't apply to India. I'm very adamant about that. Hartnäckig.
Your birth date should be 8 then.
No, I'm open to arguments, but I don't agree to certain arguments or theories given. When you have never ever visited a country, how can you tell the people of that country how to live? As a German teacher telling me, a German teacher, a lady telling me in a conference, I was a keynote speaker there. This was in Siberia. I was talking, and that was actually my paper was to provoke people using translation in a classroom. She just stood up and said, that is not the way to teach a language. I said, madam, have you been to India? No. How many cities or countries do you know in India? Mumbai, Delhi, Agra. I said, good. How many students are there in a German classroom? No? Okay. How many students are there in a classroom? I don't know. Let me tell you. In an average classroom, depending on the subject, I'm talking of science subjects, there'll be up to 300, 400 students. In schools, one class has 7 or 8 sections, each one of 60 students. Our mouth slowly started dropping down. I said, you have no idea of the size and the quantity and the number we have in one classroom. And you're telling me how to teach German to Indians in India? Apart from that, the problem of multilingual children. 22 official languages at any given state, or in any given state, at any given stage. There are students in the classroom with different multilingual capabilities. I can't follow one theory there. Das ist alles eingemischt. Übersetzung, direkte, indirekte, audiovisuelle, kommunikative. Es gibt so viele verschiedene Möglichkeiten. Ich muss alle diese Möglichkeiten ausnutzen. Simple. In any case, let's get back here. Few usage, a clue, early practice. Here's a hint. Lernen will lead to becoming a master. So the proverb here, früh übt sich, wer ein Meister werden will. He who wants to become a master should start early. So you should give yourself enough time to get hold of, to master something. Age is a number. But there are theories floated around. So like I said, children, they grasp everything very quickly. They have this sponge-like capacity. So here they're talking about the Waldorfschulen. Have you heard of the Waldorfschulen? Anyone here? Is the name Waldorf familiar to you?
No, yeah, Ishwar in Waldorf, because while SAP, sort of corporate bureau in Waldorf had.
Yeah, no, Waldorf is a different thing here.
Okay, that's what only this Waldorf I know.
Okay. It's like when I joined the computer language course a few years ago, C language I learned just before I retired from service. This colleague of mine, a very senior professor in computer engineering, he asked me very grandly, how many languages do you know? I said, I know German, I know English, I know Hindi, I know Telugu, I can understand Bengali. He said, stop. I said, why? You said languages. No. How many computer languages you know? Computer languages? I don't know any. So it's like that. This Waldorf is different from the Waldorf I'm talking of. This Waldorfschule gibt es auch in Indien.
Okay.
And there's a particular way they go about teaching the children.
Montessori or?
Yeah, it's a similar technique, yes. Yeah, Montessori. Montessori is also a technique, by the way. Maria Montessori was an Italian teacher, pedagogin, I can say.
I see the difference because both of my sons, they started their schooling with the Montessori pattern.
Yeah.
So I see the discipline. Yeah.
My daughter started with the J. Krishnamurti method. It's something on the Waldorf lines.
JK. Oh, okay. One teacher for the complete 10 years.
Kind of, yes. So okay. You go with the children and you let them be creative. Don't pressurize them and all that. So, früh übt sich, wer ein Meister werden will. Like in English, the shortest form, catch them young. I'm sure you've heard of this catchphrase.
In sports, we have now.
Yes. This is exactly that theme. Catch them young. And then all these theories are discussed here. I don't want to read it. You want to? Then I will. Otherwise, I'm not too keen on this. Because this is not a topic that we will get in an exam.
No, I'll do it on my own because I
Yeah,
need to increase my speed.
But what we can do, yes, that we can do. We can discuss this as a topic. Wann haben Sie begonnen, eine Sprache zu lernen? Welches Alter ist Ihrer Meinung nach das Beste, um eine Sprache zu lernen? Sehr jung? Oder in der Schule vielleicht, als Teenager? Oder später?
It depends on the hunger.
That's true. Depends. That's true. I agree. I had two students who were in their one was mid 70, one was early 70s, were learning German. Both confessed, sir, we can't remember many things at times, but their grasping was awesome. At that age, about 10 years my seniors, their grasping was awesome. They all that experience in the world they had to understand concepts much faster than a youngster. So age, don't go by that statement. And so tomorrow we take up this thing about Sprechen und Lesen. So how do we go about, was ist Sprechen? Wie spricht man? Wie macht man Smalltalk? Ja, Smalltalk. So, das ist auch wichtig in einer Situation. Wie beginnt man ein Gespräch? So we'll have a quick look at this. I'd rather play a video to you. I hope I can find it. Otherwise, we'll just discuss it in general from our own experiences, small talk. So give it a thought in your daily lives when you have made this conversation, small conversation with strangers. How did it start? How do you start? Or how have you observed that such a conversation starts at a party amongst unknown people, at a gathering? Let's take down a few points and then see whether it matches what the text here advises us. Okay? We'll devote some 15 minutes to this tomorrow, and then I'll come back to a topic which I'm sure will provoke you into thinking a lot more. And in case your questions start getting tough for me tomorrow, I must remind you well in advance, I might have to go and meet the President of India rather urgently. So please keep your questions simple.
Okay, sir.
So, noch Fragen? Habt ihr noch Fragen?